Ladies and gentlemen, hello, and you are watching TTV News with some latest events in Tay Ninh province. And now we come into details. Ladies and gentlemen, on June 1st, Secretary of the Bronzo Party Committee Nguyễn Thành Tâm, accompanied by the Department of Health and leaders of Trảng Bàng People Committee, arrived at Suối checkpoint in Trảng Bàng to inspect the operation. This checkpoint patrols the gateway area between Tay Ninh province and Ho Chi Minh City on National Highway 22.
After the Ho Chi Minh City implements social distancing policy, the number of people traveling to Tay Ninh from Ho Chi Minh City and neighboring provinces will increase. As a result, the Provincial Party Committee Secretary directed the groups to beef up their forces in order to maintain the tight control over the people and vehicles entering Tay Ninh province. At the same time, the Department of Transportation collaborated with the health sector to assess the situation and reposition the checkpoint to improve the anti-epidemic effectiveness. The forces at the checkpoint require people to complete a medical declaration, health status, and pay special attention to unusual factors such as fever, coughing, and difficulty breathing. The departments and branches must coordinate and apply information technology to medical declaration, creating favorable conditions for the people and avoiding checkpoint congestion. The checkpoint force must also ensure that the conditions for epidemic prevention are met. And following the inspection, the Department of Transport and Communication relocated and arranged the Suối checkpoint in accordance with the health sector regulations and guidelines to ensure the most effective disease control.
On the same day, the Bronzo Management Board of Economic Zones collaborated with the Bronzo Department of Health to inspect epidemic prevention and control in the province industrial parks. Mr. Nguyễn Thành Tâm, Secretary of the Bronzo Party Committee, oversaw the inspection work. The delegation paid visit to businesses in Trảng Bàng, Linh Trung Thơ, export processing zone including TayNinhTV Co. Ltd. and Phượng Hoàng Control Products Co. Ltd. The inspection team also visited at Phước Đông Industrial Park, Gò Dầu, include Hong Bao Rubber and Plastic Co. Ltd. and HA Vina Tire Co. Ltd. Checking the actual implementation of the Return in Decision 2194 of the National Steering Committee for COVID-19 Prevention and Control on guidelines for preventing and assessing the risk of COVID-19 infection at workplaces and worker dormitories at enterprise, concentrating on three main criteria: the use of masks at work, response plans for epidemic prevention and control, and cleaning and disinfecting the workplace. Businesses that violate these criteria will be classified as at risk of infection and may be forced to close if they are not promptly remedied. Despite the fact that no enterprise violated the above criteria during inspection, however, many businesses have yet to achieve a high level of safety, owing to the criteria for ensuring the disinfection of the environment and workplace of workers. In the coming months, the health sector will work with the Management Board of Economic Zones to purchase with test kits and train businesses to quickly test themselves for high-risk groups like drivers and receptionists, in order to detect suspected cases as soon as possible and prevent the epidemic from entering the enterprise. Businesses must continue to promote and require employees to strictly adhere to 5K when arriving at work, particularly when wearing masks and making medical declaration via the Blue Zone application.
And on June 1st, the Provincial Military Command organized delegations to visit and give briefs at border checkpoints in Châu Thành, Tân Biên, and Bến Cầu districts to ensure the epidemic prevention and control. The delegation visited the Phước Tân border station, Ninh Điền border station, and reinforced forces as well as anti-epidemic checkpoints at Samak, Mộc and Long Phước International border stations. And the delegation also offered gifts and encouraged the morale of officials and soldiers on duty of epidemic control and prevention. For this time, Thanh Tân Công Sugar Factory and Minh Trung One Member Company Limited are working together to support about 24 gifts, totaling nearly 40 million Vietnam dong.
On May 31st, the Ministry of Public Security held an online conference to review the result of the policy implementation on building a regular commune and town police station nationwide, as well as a typical model of world police station on security, order, and urban civilization. The conference was presided over by General Tô Lâm, Minister of Public Security, Mr. Phạm Hồng Thái, Permanent Deputy Secretary of the Bronzo Party Committee, Mr. Dương Văn Thắng, Vice Chairman of the Provincial People Committee, and the Directorate of Provincial Public Security were present at the bridge. According to the report, the City 3 local police force has continued to mobilize over 43,000 regular police officers to fill communal police positions in 7,900 communes and towns. This has given a new right to the work of ensuring security and order at the grassroots, contributing to the development of the image of the commune police force for the sake of the country, for the people to serve, and for the sake of the people's life, peace, and happiness. The implementation of the scheme to arrange regular police officers to assume the position of commune police in Tay Ninh province has made an important contribution to curbing crime and violating the law, essentially stabilizing the situation in Tay Ninh province security and order. Minister Tô Lâm stated at the conference that the police of unit and locality will continue to build a contingent of police officers in communes and townships with strong political spirit, good quality, and good sense of discipline, mastering professional knowledge and skill to handle and show the security and order situation at the facility in the coming term, following the motto, when the people need it, when the people are in trouble, there is the police. From January 1st, 2021 to June 1st, 2022, Minister Tô Lâm launched a special emulation movement in the police force with the theme, dedication, attachment, relentlessness, safety, and security at the grassroots level.
And on the afternoon of June the 1st, Mr. Nguyễn Mạnh Hùng, standing Vice Chairman of the Provincial People's Committee, presided over a conference to approve the report on results of indicators reflecting the province administration in 2020 and collect comments on the project to improve the qualities of system high-ranking positions for indicators reflecting the province administration period of 2021 to 2025. The province administrative background is reflected in the following indexes: Provincial Competitiveness Index, Provincial Governance and Public Administration Performance Index, Public Administration Reform Index, Administrative Service Satisfaction Index, and Readiness Index for Vietnam Information and Communication Technology Development and Application. During the conference, the Chief of Office of the Provincial People's Committee, Tu Văn Hùng, stated that the rankings of indicators reflecting the province administration are decreasing in comparison to other provinces and cities nationwide between 2016 and 2020. The Provincial People's Committee has developed a draft scheme to improve the ranking position for indicators reflecting provincial administration in the period of 2021 to 2025 in order to improve the ranking position of these indicators. And as a result, in the coming months, the province will concentrate on improving the areas in the group with the lowest scores, improve the people service quality and administrative procedures, particularly in the fields of land construction, health insurance, and medical examination and treatment services, education, etc. And in his conclusion, standing Vice Chairman Provincial People's Committee Nguyễn Mạnh Hùng directed the Provincial People's Committee office, the agent in charge of developing the projects, to absorb the comments, quickly complete the projects, and submit it to Provincial People's Committee leaders for approval and implementation. At the same time, localities and units must consider this as one of the key tasks in contributing to the effectiveness in implementation of e-government, digital transformation, digital economy, and digital society building in localities and units.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the complicated development of the COVID-19 epidemic all over the world and in Vietnam, there have been cases of domestically transmitted infection in province and city, including Tay Ninh. In recent days, the epidemic situation will become more complicated in the near future. Some common cold, fever, and cold medicine are available at large medicine stores and are sold in chains. However, in the current complicated situation of the COVID-19 epidemic, we must make a medical declaration when purchasing this medicine. And in light of the Department of Health new directives and regulation, this medical declaration is even more important in order to strengthen early detection of cases in order to localize, isolate, and treat patients as soon as possible, thereby reducing the spread of the disease in the community. Records show that when customers come to this pharmacy system to buy medicine, the staff record their full name, address, phone number. As a result, Pharmacists advise rush buyers to use the nCoV, Blue Zone, and Vietnam Health Declaration apps on their phones to create a medical quarantine point and carry out the implementation themselves. Obtain the QR code for your customer. Customers who purchase medicine for respiratory symptoms or fever, cold, sore, or difficulty breathing in particular must be interested to complete a medical declaration and send it to the nearest medical facility, medical station, local health center, or notify the commune or township health station by phone. Customers who come to buy medicine maintain a safe distance as well. Meanwhile, small pharmacies in residential areas are familiar with the procedure for preparing medical declaration for customers. I believe that this declaration will help me know who buy drugs here, discover where customers go so I can track them quickly and help medical center find patients faster. I had to ask the patient casual and advise people to make a medical declaration locally. Despite the fact that I'm well aware that this for outbreak is extremely complicated, I've written down the patient's phone number, name, and address. This policy is very good to me, and I follow it. We will collaborate with the medical community to combat the epidemic in a most effective way possible. I believe this is only for my benefit. The staff here advise very enthusiastically, quickly, and without any difficulties. When a patient comes to buy medicine or get a medical examination at a drug retail establishment or a private medical practice, the medical declaration is very useful in quickly tracing and detecting people infected with COVID-19, making it much easier for health authorities to just trace and localize. This inappropriate and correct policy in a situation where the epidemic has many infections in the community and tends to increase is known now in our country. And this is one of the good solutions to help prevent the disease. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all for today TTV News. Thank you for joining with us and see you next time.